Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 8th of December. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Lovisa, Grange Resources, South 32, BCI Minerals and Collins Foods. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you're getting our free newsletter every Thursday, but my stock tips come out every Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report. So make sure you're getting that report. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is giving advice. It involves portfolio management. So if you'd like a trading account and have me advise you each time I think there's something worth buying or selling, then please let me know. And all the advice here is general only. So we've got a daily chart here of Lovisa. Interesting pattern here. So most recently we may have spotted an ascending triangle breakout. That would have been a buy signal, but we could see that it then failed pretty quickly. Now I'll just zoom in a bit. So looking at this failure here, we could see that it opened higher and then closed a lot lower. So this gave us what's known as an outside day. So it basically also, or bearish engulfing pattern, the daily range here engulfing this day here. So to see this at a top, especially if you then give it a few days and notice that it's not really doing much, it's not recovering quickly, it's still trading in the bottom half of this candle, then that's a negative sign. So that's a sell signal in my opinion. And we can see it continuing to fall away. There's probably a bit of support here at 22. Maybe you get a bit of a bounce, but at the moment I'd say the risk here is to the downside, and I don't see enough evidence yet to suggest that we're at a buy level. Okay, Grange. So it's obviously fallen away for most of this year. Looks like a low's in place. In my opinion, we can maybe even call this a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, breakout in the last few days, big volume on the way up. So to me, that's just a classic buy signal. To be honest, I think it should continue higher. You could place your initial stops under here, and it looks like, potentially $1.10 would be your first target. So I think this looks pretty good. South 32, I also think this one looks pretty good. We had it in the Dynamic Investor Report back here in November as a buy. Again, my tips come out every Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report, so you need to make sure you're getting that report. So we had this one as a buy on the breakout here, sort of rallied, it's come back for the retest, back up again. Now what we've got is essentially 4 tests of resistance. So when I see that, we get excited as another potential buying opportunity, because the more you test a resistance level, especially if you test it 4 times, most likely you do break through. So at the moment, South 32 is a hold, and I'd be looking for a break here to be buying more or adding a new position if I didn't already have one, because I think, if it does break here, you'd get a decent rally. BCI, so it looks like it's bottomed out here. So we've got a bit of a base. Let's draw a line. So base, and around here would have been the time that you'd be starting to get excited. And the reason why I say that is it's sort of back under the base and then congesting underneath without getting sold down here again. And then that would have been the buy signal. At the moment, it's sort of testing the breakout. We could see the volume on the break, retesting. I think as long as it stays, let's say, above 25 cents, I think it's a buy here, and probably the next level up would be near 30 cents. So starting to look pretty constructive here. And finally, Collins Foods. So we'll just zoom out, just basically a downtrend, isn't it? So we've got lower highs, lower lows, still trending lower. most recently we had this sort of gap down, big gap down, and then constant selling all day, closing on its lows, massive volume. So that was the most recent sell signal, and we could see follow through here on the downside. Bit of a bounce for a few days, but then within 2 days it's back to these lows. So yeah, still just looks dangerous here. No evidence yet that there's a low in place, so we're most likely going to see it head lower. Okay, well that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through and we'll look at it next Thursday.